Let me ask you something uncomfortable. Have you ever noticed that no matter how much you try to change, your life keeps snapping back to something familiar? You promise yourself, I'll do better. I'll be more confident. I'll finally change. And for a while, you do. But slowly, almost quietly, you return to the same behaviors, the same emotional reactions, the same limits. This isn't laziness. This isn't lack of discipline. And it's definitely not because you're broken. It's because of identity. Not the identity you talk about. The identity your nervous system believes. In this chapter, we're going to explore what identity actually is, how self-image silently controls behavior, why change feels exhausting, and why lasting change only happens when identity shifts first. This is not self-help. This is self-understanding. Welcome back to MindShift. Most people think identity is personality, labels, roles, traits. I'm shy. I'm ambitious. I'm not confident. I'm bad at relationships. But psychology shows something deeper. Identity is not who you are. Identity is who your nervous system expects you to be. It's a prediction system. Your brain constantly asks, what behavior feels familiar? What reaction feels safe? What outcome matches who I think I am? And it steers you accordingly, automatically. Self-image is not positive or negative. It's consistent. If you see yourself as someone who struggles, someone who tries but fails, someone who stays invisible, your brain will unconsciously protect that image, even when success appears, because the brain's job is not growth. It's coherence. It wants your life to match your self-image. This explains a painful truth. Most people don't fail at change. They revert, because change threatens identity. If your identity says, I'm not the kind of person who succeeds, then success creates internal conflict, and the nervous system resolves conflict by restoring familiarity. That's why people sabotage progress, lose motivation after wins, feel uncomfortable when things go well. Not consciously, automatically. Identity is not built by thinking, it's built by emotional memory. Moments like being criticized, being embarrassed, being overlooked, being rewarded, being shamed. The brain records, this is who I am in the world. And once recorded, it becomes default. This is why telling yourself, I'm confident now, doesn't work. The nervous system responds to felt familiarity, not words. Here's the loop running most lives. Identity, expectations, behavior, results, reinforced identity. Example, I'm not good enough. Expect rejection, act cautiously, miss opportunities. See, I knew it. This loop feels logical, but it's actually self-confirming, and breaking it requires identity awareness, not effort. Willpower tries to override identity. Identity always wins. You can force behavior for a day, a week, sometimes a month, but eventually, identity pulls you back. Because identity lives in the nervous system, emotional memory, bodily expectation, not conscious intention. Change that ignores identity becomes exhausting. Here's a difficult truth. Every identity has a payoff, even painful ones. Examples. Being the struggling one avoids responsibility. Being the quiet one avoids conflict. Being the helper avoids asking for help. Being the underachiever avoids failure risk. Identity protects you from something. Until you see what it protects you from, you won't let it go. Many people say, I feel fake when I act confident. That's because confidence contradicts identity. The nervous system interprets that as danger, so it sends signals: anxiety, self-doubt, tightness, urge to retreat. This isn't failure, it's mismatch. Identity change always feels unfamiliar before it feels natural. Identity does not change through affirmations. It changes through repeated, embodied experience. Small moments where you act differently, you tolerate discomfort, you survive without collapsing. You don't abandon yourself. Each moment teaches the nervous system. This is safe now. Identity updates slowly, but permanently. Here's a powerful practice. Instead of asking, "How do I change?" ask, "What would someone with a slightly different identity tolerate?" Not perfection, just 1% difference. Then notice the discomfort, the urge to retreat, the fear, and stay present. That presence rewires identity. Shame reinforces identity. Compassion loosens it. When you judge yourself, the nervous system tightens. When you observe without judgment, it relaxes. Identity change requires safety, and safety begins with self-compassion, not pressure. You are not stuck because you're incapable. You're stuck because your nervous system is loyal to a version of you it learned to survive as. That version kept you safe once. You're stuck because your nervous system is loyal to a version of you it learned to survive as. That version kept you safe once. Now it may be limiting you. You don't need to destroy it. You need to outgrow it. Slowly, patiently, consciously. That's how real change happens. If this chapter resonated deeply, it's because you're ready to see yourself more clearly. Welcome back to MindShift. If this conversation helped you understand yourself more deeply, subscribe for long-form psychology conversations that don't rush growth.